Hello friends, this is Ifa. Welcome to a new video. In this video, I'm going to set up my bullet journal for April. For this April, I have decided to go for a spring picnic theme. I know it has been a trend to go for cherry blossom themes in April, and I also put me into the trend again and made this theme with Polaroids and cherry blossom, even though we don't have cherry blossoms in my country. But I would love to visit a place where these flowers bloom. This is the first time I'm setting up here in this notebook. If you're interested to see the early setup of this notebook, check out the description for the link of the video. I didn't want to bound myself into a smaller range of colors this month, so I've chosen this huge range of colors to work on. Even though I didn't use some colors later in the setup but added more different colors like blue and gray. I didn't want to use any black in the setup, so I chose this brown Unipin fine liner for outlines of the illustrations. It's in size 05, which is pretty bold, and I wish I had some thinner nibs for detailed works. Definitely going to get some thinner gray and brown fine liners later, which actually can help me to draw all the little details. For the illustration on my cover page, I wanted to add two Polaroids side by side and filling up the empty spaces with cherry blossoms. While drawing this illustration, my hands were not that stable and I was struggling a lot. So please don't mind with the bad framing here. I wanted to put the flowers on the top of the Polaroids. So while making my pattern printables, I fixed all the things that I planned before for this illustration. I've said in the beginning that I'm putting myself into this cherry blossom theme trends. By that, I meant I've made a pink desert theme with cherry blossom last year in April, so you can definitely check that out if you're interested to get another cherry blossom theme. In the top polar doodle here, I drew a picnic setup with basket, blanket, fruits, etc. And for the second one, I added a few strokes only. Later I used a light green or asparagus color to have a base leaves, and then I've gone for a darker green and a olive green. Though I didn't like the olive green here in this illustration, so I covered it up with the previous colors. I forgot to swatch this blue color before using this into my journal, and I don't like how punchy this color looks. So I've used a sky blue colored brush pen and blended them well. So this scheme is no more warmer and neutrals anymore. So if you're following me with these parts as a tutorial, you can use a blender from Tumble brush pen to blend the colors together. As I don't have it, I am using the lighter shades to blend this out, or you can use water if your bullet journal can handle the excessive water amount. As I've said that I didn't want to add any black here, but to bring some daisies that I wanted to add, and used a thin black fine liner to it. Though I wanted to add white daisies, but the white color didn't show up well. For the picnic basket, I used a warmer brown color to fill out it, and then I used a chocolate color to draw all the details. So here I tried to do two buckets or French breads. I also wanted to add apples and different fruits, but I didn't want to enlarge my color scheme, so I portrayed this as peaches. This may looks funny, but yeah, I did it. Let's move on to the cherry blossoms. I colored the inner part with the pink blush color, which is the shade 772. This brush pen was in the first batch of Tumble brush pens that I bought, and I like this color a lot and used it a lot. I used a slightly lighter cool tone pink for details in the cherry blossoms, and then I used a warmer peachy pink color to blend all these colors together. As I said, I didn't have any thinner fine liner, so I used a black fine liner in size 003 to make the dots for filling up the emptiness of this illustration. Also, I used the bolder Unipin fine liner as well. So for the title, I've gone with a very simple handwriting of my own and skipped the calligraphy font this time. If you're following me for a while, you know how much I like calligraphy fonts for the title of each bullet journal cover pages. So yeah, I skipped it in this month. But I kind of make this title a little small, so to make this title a little pop up, I made this grid pattern behind this title area. And I think this is inspired by Purple Potato on Instagram. I absolutely love her minimal approaches, so be sure to check her out. So that's for my cover page, and the next is monthly calendar page. I'm going to make a simple and minimal one-page vertical calendar in this month. Basically, I have spaced 4x3 grid for each days. This spread is also inspired by Purple Potato, so thumbs up for her ideas. While making this page, I would like to tell you that I have uploaded all the printables in my Patreon. So if you're interested to get these printable calendar, journaling kits, digital version of my cover page, and exclusive sticker sheet and wallpaper, check out my Patreon and join in the suitable tier that you want. I have 3 existing tiers and you can choose what you need as your rewards. Also, I would like to say that all of the printables from May 2022 to April 2023 are still there, so before they got deleted, collect them. I also share some behind the scenes of my contents and share a monthly newsletter where I include my life and everything there. We also have a Discord server for our patrons as my Patreon hub, and we can chat there and hang out together. I would love to thank to my current patrons or the members of my Patreon: Gia, Rickwill, Missy T, Christy, Regina. Thank you very much for your love and endless support. Moving back to my setup, I used some grid washi tapes which I bought a while ago and some pastel washi tapes and dots which I got from StationeryPal, and also used this sticker washi set from the washi tape shop to fill up the empty days in this calendar. So that's it for my calendar page, and the next spread is my habit and mood tracker. For the headers, I used ombre letter effect, and for that, first I wrote the letters with a light color, then I used a darker color to fill up the top half of each letter. Then I use the previous light color to blend it out. If you have a blender from Tombow, you can use that for blending as well. This time I'm going with 6 habits and I drew 7x7 grid spaced boxes. I always put grid for my habit trackers and I like it very much. For the illustration, I have gone for a big one this time, which is extended to the mood tracker page. This time I drew the flowers first so that I can put them on the top, and then drew the Polaroids. The habit trackers I'm using here is a mini version of the calendar layout, so it's easy to use even though I don't track every day. In the first Polaroid, I drew a pizza, orange juice bottle, and fruits. Besides that, I drew the slices of brown breads. For the second Polaroid, I drew a tulip bouquet, a hat, and baguettes, and besides that, I also put baguettes in this side, but I didn't complete it. I don't know why I drew it halfway. I think my pronunciation of baguette is okay, but if it's not, please correct me. I think I haven't been in such picnics for a long time. In my childhood, I remember the picnics I used to go with my parents, where me and my sister always put art supplies with us to draw the natural views, and I truly miss those days a lot. I have a great news to share with you all, that we have more than 3,000 people in this community. Being a small creator, it means a lot to me. I'm growing little by little and learning a lot from this whole journey. I can't express my feelings properly, how grateful I am towards you, and it means the whole world to me. If you're new here and like my Bujo art, I'd say you should probably subscribe and turn on the notification bell of my channel so that you can never miss my contents in the future. I'm putting my heart and soul to create these contents, even though they are not flawless, but they are very precious to me because it keeps my journey here. I think I like this page more than my cover page because this illustration looks way too good than the cover page, and I think this spread is going to make me use my bullet journal more often. For the mood tracker, I spaced out 30 boxes with 3x3 grids for each days. Generally, I don't like to use mood trackers. If you're following me for a long time, you know that. But I think this layout that I made last month for some experiments kind of switched me to use it in this next month as well. You can visit my Instagram to see how I'm using this mood tracker layout with different colors in the same day, and I think this layout is much more useful for me rather than any other layouts like the circle one or the graph ones. So I think you can try it too. I'm going with pink shades for the positive notations like happy, very happy, or peace, and the other colors like brown, gray, and green for the negative mood notations. So that's it for the mood and habit tracker. I think I'm in love with this spread, and this spread is going to be used most often. The next spread is dedicated to my contents, aka my YouTube videos, shorts or reels, or short videos on Instagram or TikTok or YouTube, and the photos that I post on Instagram. I also put aside but a large page for my pattern planning or content planning. For the header, I only use different colors for each alphabet to maintain the ombre effect. For decoration, I added a basket doodle with tulips in it in the bottom. I think tulips are more easier flowers to draw than any other flowers, and it's very easy to color in as well. If you're not a creator, you may not need this spread, but you can use this for your study planner if you're a student, or work planner if you're doing a full-time job. I have all of my contents here in this channel and I never deleted any of them. So all of my Bujo themes from August 2020 are here. If you think you are not going with the cherry blossom theme, you can go to my channel and see all of those videos to get inspired for more theme ideas. I'm stick to this layout, which is this horizontal layout for the content planner, and I think it works very well for me. I'm using this layout from May 2020 and still using this every month, but I never get bored by it. Recently I invented the color coding for each task, like when I want to upload or when I need to film or edit the contents, etc. And this color coding kind of pressurized me a little to work on my contents frequently. I also add simple trackers for my follower counting or subscriber counting besides this calendar layout. Even though I'm not bothered with the counts, but I like to track it for future. The last spread that I'm making for this setup, which is my first weekly layout for the month. This layout is inspired by Artie from Lila Journals. She makes the amazing spreads and I love her minimal creativity a lot. So I have an Instagram account where I put all of the spreads in photos and reels. Basically the weekly spreads that I use later from these spreads. You can find them on Instagram, and I also put reels where I show all the process of making my weekly spreads. If my setups give you a little inspiration, be sure to subscribe to my channel and like this video to support me and my channel. Your subscription, your like and share helps my video to reach more people. To fill out the empty spaces, I drew cherry blossoms here and there. I don't know why I used this calligraphy font here, but I think it looks too pretty, even though I wanted to skip calligraphy fonts. It might look fantastic, but it was a little boring to do these grids for each box, but I prefer the look more than my boredom. So that's it for this spread as well. After using some washi tapes here and there, I'm finished with my whole setup. Here comes the final flip through. I absolutely love how this whole setup turned out, and I hope you like it too. If you're still there, comment with the cherry blossom emoji so that I know you're here until now. So yeah, that's it, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.